T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester with me, Ms. Belinda Scandal. With who?
Argle Bargle.
With Argle Bargle. And over on the other side of the studio, Caroline Whitehead joins us. How are you, Caroline?
Oh, I've got my autumnal colours on because it's freezing out there.
It's cold, it's been raining, it's been proper Manchester weather. How does a thing like you cope in this weather?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like being back at home.
Your hair's amazing, by the way.
Thank you very much.
It's
like a grease and bin juice.
It's bin juice, yes. It definitely won't be lube because we're not apparently doing that at the moment on Canal Street. So anyway, we have got a marvellous show lined up for you tonight. We really have. Have you ever met a killer queen?
No, I've not.
Yes, you have. Me.
You've not killed me yet.
I stood right behind you, Flower. I'd be more worried than most. Now, listen. Also tonight we are talking to a beauty queen. Oh, yes.
Lovely.
Does beauty queen mean what it means to the world and what it used to mean to the world back in the day? Is it all about looking gorgeous, or is there more of a point to it, everybody?
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
It is all eye in the beholder. Thank you very much. It's also a little bit of a sad occasion as we are looking back at one of our fabulous guests who sadly passed away earlier this week. It's a sad situation, but we're going to be rerunning a fabulous interview that we did with her just a little while ago. And if that's not enough, we're also venturing down to one of Salford's most finest, beautiful theatrical venues, the King's Arms. So it is literally all going on. Are you all right there on your own for a minute?
Oh, yes, I'll be fine, yeah.
All right, then I'll just wander over to here. Then I'll wander over, wandering over. How are you then? Are you all right, my love?
I am. I'm just looking at Argle Bargle.
I'm just going to climb over you.
Are you going to climb? Oh, hello. Oh.
What's going on over there?
I'm here now, All's good with the world.
Tight squeeze. Are you coming over here, Argle Bargle?
Yeah, it was indeed. It's good job I didn't bring the monster over here as well. How's your week been? What have you been up to? What do you know?
Oh, what do I know? I've been on the Global Wikipedia conference because I am a wiki editor.
Right.
So I have been again trying to work towards improving diversity on Wikipedia.
Have you?
Yeah, more women, more LGBTQ on Wikipedia because it's ickle and it should be more. There are lots of amazing.
So what does it mean that then? What does it mean?
It means that basically you've got the editors that put things on Wikipedia and it's all about sort of white male men.
Right.
Male men, yeah.
Yes.
Straight
male men.
Yeah,
yes.
male men.
We'll have that as a word. Yeah, very good.
And don't put me off.
Welcome back.
Don't put me off because there's some serious stuff.
Of course there is. Talking about the male men.
There's only 19% of Wikipedia pages that are of women.
Get out.
Yeah, since I've been working towards it, it's been 15% and the dial has moved in the right direction, which is about 32,000 pages have been put up in the time that we've been working to it. So we had a big global conference yesterday looking at how we can improve diversity on Wikipedia and making sure that people's details are not taken down, that people are doing some fantastic stuff. So you think, oh, Alan Turing, yes, he's on there, but people like that. They should have their information on Wikipedia.
I think it's important for equality in all different realms.
Equality, diversity and belonging.
Or as I say, adapt and diversify. That's my favourite little phrase at the moment.
Yes.
Speaking of which, as I did mention, beauty queens versus killer queens tonight, everybody.
Queens.
Queens. And we are joined by our very first guests, everybody. Here they are. We got Paul Antony and, of course, Mr. Stuart Crowther. They're bringing up a fantastic show called Killer Queens. Tell us all about it and welcome. Your hair is impeccable.
Thank you.
What a gorgeous colour. Isn't it a stunning colour?
Yeah.
It's
natural.
So what's Killer Queens then, first of all? What is it?
It's a play.
Yeah.
Very queer, very camp, very gay.
Lovely.
Set in sort of Manchester through the 70s, 80s and 90s. We follow the character that I play, Freddie, through his journey of self-discovery.
So tell us more about Freddie then. What's he? Who is he?
So, brought up in not the nicest of households. Very sort of homophobic working class background.
Right.
Moves out when he's 18 to the big city. Sort of lives...
The big city of Manchester.
The big city of London.
Oh, it was going so well.
No, it's Manchester. It's definitely Manchester.
Which it is sort of London, then I'm very northern, so it became,
Yes.
let's say he went to Manchester.
Let's say he went to Manchester, definitely. So how does the story develop then? What do we see?
So we sort of see Freddie meet sort of his tribe, and it's sort of the things that he does that sort of the traps he falls into through that journey of self-discovery. People that he meets that he probably shouldn't have met, people that he becomes romantically involved with that he shouldn't, and then might just be a killer inside one.
Is this one of those shows whereby the audience are involved as well?
Yes.
Oh, I love those.
Oh, I love that.
Bit of an immersive moment.
Yes.
How do we get the audience involved in it?
So it's actually taking place. It's really exciting. It's in a hidden nightclub, which is like a true like Manchester hidden gem, if you pardon the what's it. Converted mill that's now a nightclub.
Yeah.
That real kind of underground nightclub. You feel so it all takes place in there. So the kind of scenes from Freddie's life are interspersed with like club classics back from the day, and the audience are encouraged to dress in their finest club kid wear, join in some of the scenes. The actors will dance
You
with
remember
you.
them days, Flower? Clubbing away?
Yes.
Did
I
you?
do.
What type of a clubby person were you, Flower?
Well, I like funk and soul.
Funk and soul.
I was Karen Wheeler. Back to life, back to reality.
I was all about Wigan Pier, believe it or not. Strange to believe. Nobody's believing me, are they?
No.
Nobody's believing
No,
me at all. It's
no.
a hard life. So when do we get to see this then? Where can we see this?
You can see this at Hidden,
Yes.
which is
Which
just
is
outside Victoria. It's actually Cheetham Hill, but it's
Right.
like that bit of Salford where it's also Manchester at the same time. It's just outside the city centre.
On the precipice.
Yes,
Yeah.
There you go.
gentrifications.
Yes.
Hiddenclub.co.uk, I think the website is, and it's the 7th to the 9th of September.
It's exciting.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't wait for this, mate.
No, I can't wait. It's just the fact that, to dress up and be part of it as well. And as you as the main character, would you like sort of talk to any of the audience to get them involved?
Yeah,
or-
there's a lot of monologuing, a lot of me sort of talking, flirting, dancing with sort of the club goers. So yeah, a lot of talking to people.
And how do you go about directing a piece like this then?
It's really it's lovely, it's so exciting, but because it's going to be in the round as well, so we're inviting the audience to walk anywhere in the club they want to
Wow.
to change their perspective on the events and stuff. So it's really just me sort of manically running around the room, constantly going, "Can't see you, can't see you."
I like that.
No, I do. I like it.
that. I like that.
it.
So is it just you, or is there other actors in it with you?
No, there's loads of fabulously talented people. We have someone that plays a younger version of me, if you can believe. So that's a
You're
thing.
about 12, is it?
Yeah, I know. I was
Fetus,
thinking that.
essentially.
We have sort of my mother character,
Yeah.
the sort of guy that I meet,
Yeah.
who's kind of not the most nicest
Oh, really?
guy in the draw now.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a lot of...
Oh, it's layering this up, aren't we?
I know.
Okay. And why, if you were to describe it to somebody, why would you say that they should come and watch this then?
It's a night out. We need a night out after the
Okay.
past 18 months,
Yeah.
and it's a night out. It's a huge celebration of sort of queer culture through the ages. Queer people, nearly not near enough everybody that's in the cast and on the crew is a queer person.
Which we love, don't we?
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm going to speak for a straight person here,
Are you?
which I am. I'd be involved. I'd be right there in the middle.
Not going there. You're making my life too easy tonight, Caroline.
Yeah.
Making
I'm just setting them up for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, not setting them up.
So one more time then. Where is it? Where can we watch it? What time's it on? How do people get tickets?
You can go to sodomite.co.uk. Yes, that's sodomite.co.uk for tickets.
Good word.
It's 7th to the 9th of September at Hidden, doors at 7:30 for the show at 8 o'clock.
It sounds
Killer
fantastic.
Queen.
Killer Queen. Queens.
Queen.
Queen. Single, pure, plural.
Just, oh, it's all about you.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for the two of you coming in today.
you.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay then everybody, as I did mention, which one there? As I did mention before, there are some fantastic theatrical venues. And speaking about hidden venues, this one remains still one of the most hiddenest venues in Salford. Now, it's been going since 1883, everybody.
Shut up.
It has, and it's got a little hidden theatre right at the very top of it. And we spoke to Oliver, who works at the King's Arms. So I'm now joined by Oliver here in the theatre. Now, you wouldn't expect a theatre to be here in a pub, but this theatre does so many good shows, doesn't it? Welcome, Oliver. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
What shows do you have going on here then?
So we have all sorts. We have plays, musicals, one-act things. There's a burlesque show coming up at the end of this year, I think, and gigs as well.
And how long has it been a theatre space for?
Quite a while now, probably over like 15 years, 20 years, I think, yeah.
It is a space and a half. Now, a lot of people, how many would this theatre hold?
I think standing, it's around about a 70, 80 capacity, but seated, it's a bit less.
Right. It's quite a sensational venue. It's right at the very top of the pub, and it's in this dome. Now, what would this been used for in its original days?
Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I think perhaps it could have been used for like a type of hotel rooms for people that come and stayed at the pub.
I mean, this would have been a very luxurious room.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Imagine turning up and then getting the size of this. You'd be quite impressed with yourself. It's still retained all its original features. There's fireplaces here. There is obviously some bits that have been added, but what's the secret to the King's Arms then? Why does it do so well? What's its success?
I think just because of the combination of creative types of people that it attracts, really. Like, just such a widespread, different types of people that act in music, from different parts of the country, different ethnicities, just seems to bring everyone together, really.
And it's also got quite a lot of history behind it. Obviously, it's an old place. I think it dates back to around about
1883, I think.
1883, yeah. And you've retained a lot of it. Why do you think it's important to retain the history of a place as opposed to doing what many do, which is just make it modern, square box?
Well, because we should be proud about Salford and our roots, and this is like, you know, a good indicator of what it was like back then. But it's such a beautiful space that why should it need changing? Like, it keeps the heritage alive, but also with a modern twist, because we're doing all these events and acts.
And you speak about heritage. A lot of the places downstairs, like the Snugs, are kind of dedicated to people that have been, that used to frequent this place, is it?
Yeah, of course. So, like, downstairs, there was somebody who used to work here. I can't quite remember his name, but he loved David Bowie. So that room's now dedicated to him, and we've got all different, like, pictures of Bowie up there and books and things like that.
It's amazing. And of course, there is a bar here as well. We mustn't forget the bar.
CC's Gin Bar is a new feature to the King's Arms.
Well, what's that then?
So it's just our revamped bar. We did have a bar up there, but we're selling like specific types of local gins, Salford gins, and different like concoctions. Like, we've got a Marquis Smith themed cocktail called Totally Wired, and things like that, basically.
So it's all going on. How many days a week are you open?
At the moment, we're open 5 days a week, I think.
And how bad was it when COVID hit you?
It was difficult because, of course, we couldn't have the performances, and we only had a limited amount of opening times just because people weren't going out as much. They didn't feel as comfortable. But it's great now to have people coming in, just the same old vibe that it was before the pandemic, really.
And this place is known for having lots and lots of characters that come and drink here and have fun here. Is there any that you've seen that stuck out for you?
Just a lot of the locals just have a great sense of humour, I think. Like, they're just your standard sort of old school Salfordians, where they have like a bit of a rough exterior, but really they're all softies and they have a laugh. And that's it for me, really.
And where will we find you most of the week then?
Working behind the bar.
How long have you been here for?
Like 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And was there a particular reason why you wanted to work specifically here?
Yeah, because I just knew about the history of it. I knew that Paul Heaton from the Beautiful South used to own it. I knew that, like, it was just a hub for musicians, like going back to Marky Smith, he used to come and drink in here, and just like, it's just a creative place, and there's no pubs that are like this, really. It's dead unique. So.
It is really, really unique. We're going to check the rest of it out. Thank
Cool.
you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
worries.
So there we go. Absolutely fantastic there. It's a place where you just need to be. Have you ever been there?
No, I've heard about it though.
It's so near as well. Again, all these little hidden gems that are dotted around Manchester and Salford. And this has got a beautiful theatre in a dome.
Oh.
In a dome. It's all blacked out. It's gorgeous. And then you think you've seen enough. And then there's another room that leads on to another room that leads on to... It's quite the impressiveness.
Nice little nooks and crannies.
Indeed. That was going to be a great segue, but now you've said nooks and crannies, it's not going to work. So let us move on now to our next guest, everybody. I've brought my glasses this week because I can never normally read anything.
Yeah, you just want to try and look brainy.
Look, I'm basically turning into Anne Robinson. Isn't it? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, with that countdown mentioned, get in. It's now time to introduce our next guest. Now, our next guest is the wonderful Madaleine Wahdan. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
God, for
That's
that.
right.
Now, you're wearing a sash for a reason.
I am.
You are, of course, Miss Manchester! And what does that mean, first of all? What does it mean to you to be Miss Manchester?
So technically what it means is that I won the Manchester Heat for Miss Great Britain, and I get to go through to the final of Miss Great Britain, which is in 4 weeks' time in Leicester. But to me, it's so much more. As you can tell from my accent, I'm not originally from here, and I moved here 5 years ago. And this city has just been the best place I could ever have imagined to move to. It's really like welcoming, and I've loved everything about it and really thrown myself into it. So it's amazing for me to now represent it at such a big stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
How did you come about getting into being Miss Manchester? And what's the process?
So you have to apply online, and there's some pageants have like a heat for you to go through, or if you don't have too many girls in that area, then there's an online judging process, which is what I went through. You submit photos and you have to write an essay about who you are, if you've got a platform or a charity that you work with, and what your aims are if you were to be
Because this
chosen.
is something that I think actually ties in with a lot of what you do. Because gone are the days, I believe now, from doing these pageants, as we call them, where it's just about looking pretty. There's a lot more to it, and a lot more for women.
Yeah, if anybody's seen the film Miss Congeniality, it's not like putting a crown on and going, world peace. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. What it is, it's about the humanitarian side of things, giving something back, using your platform to highlight any suffering anywhere or any of the causes. And you're wearing red there. And why are you wearing red?
I am wearing red because the platform that I don't like to call it a platform, actually. It's a campaign that I started before I entered Miss Great Britain, so I was passionate about it prior. But Code Red is basically a campaign that I created to raise awareness for period poverty here in Great Britain.
Brilliant.
And to also collect donations, mainly around the Manchester area, because that's where I live, for people who don't have access to sanitary products, which is 1 in 10 people here around the UK.
In the UK?
Yeah, 1 in 10 people don't have access.
It's shocking.
Which is shocking, and it's not just on the poverty line. It goes all the way up to anybody, and I don't think anyone should have to decide between getting bread and milk or having a clean sanitary or hygiene product. So that's what I've done. We've created a campaign called #CodeRed or CodeRedGB on Instagram, and that's what I spent the last year sort of working towards.
Have you partnered with any like food banks as well? Because of course, you know, there's the toiletry section of the food bank, and that's good for Code Red to have a presence there. Have you done anything like that?
Absolutely. So when we first started, we used to make boxes. So it was like a present box, particularly in lockdowns. There was like a chocolate in there. There was loads of little bits so that people were getting sort of a gift. Whereas now we partner with Emily's Pantry. We've got the Salford Mother and Baby Food Bank, Two Brews Manchester, Samaritans. There's loads of different charities, and there's loads of other period charities, particularly in Manchester, who do a really good job as well. So we give out as to where it's needed, but it's been brilliant, and luckily a lot of the other pageant girls have joined in and done it in their areas as well. So the plan is, if I win, is to take it well global. It would be the dream because it's a global issue, but
that'd be fantastic. I mean, I'm an ambassador for the Pankhurst Centre.
Oh, amazing.
And that'd be great for the work that they do with the Women's Aid Trust as well. So we'll have a chat afterwards.
Have a chat afterwards. But I mean, it is so important. I mean, you mentioned all the campaigns, as you call them there, But I mean, I suppose most of it, or a big chunk of it, is about looking good, isn't it?
It is a part of it. It is a beauty pageant at the end of the day. But I think previously, where that was the sole focus, actually now that's a minor part of it. Whereas your interview is so important, how you conduct yourself. Can you speak on stage? Are you inspiring other people to go out and do better things? And there's so much more to it that encompasses the winner now rather than who's the prettiest.
Let's have a look at this little vitit here, as we call it. Here we go. Look at me. I mean, you're just stunning, Flower, aren't you?
Look at you.
Absolutely stunning, but walking with total force, and in your eyes you can see that you mean business and you want the world to know, you know, that you're going to be strong and you're going to do it. So how long is it until the final then?
4 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Right, but you know what? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Send your congratulations to your mum. 8 months after she got her OBE.
She did get her OBE.
Yeah, so send your congratulations.
I will.
Every time I'm anywhere on an English heritage site, I always tweet about it and say, look, brown people, English heritage. Equality and diversity, and they always tweet back.
Hashtag Culture Queen.
Hashtag Culture
Very
Queen.
good indeed. So what preparation have you got to do now then, over the next 4 weeks? Anything?
Do you know what? I'm pretty prepared. I sort of had my last training session this week. I've just got to get some outfits sort of tailored and things like that, and then I'm ready to go. It's my 3rd year now, so I've placed really highly before, and this is sort of the 3rd and final go. So
Belinda's got some lovely outfits if you want to borrow
I've
any.
seen them.
You have to split them in 2 to wear them, but I mean, you'll be fat, Flower. God, can you imagine her in one of my outfits?
Oh, she'd look fabulous.
Oh, she'd look like she was wearing a tent. I tell you, you would, honestly. But I'm sure you'd look glamorous in a tent as well, because she's just that type of glamorous thing. Just before you go, we've got to quickly mention your lovely engagement as well. Perhaps tell everybody who you're engaged to.
I'm engaged to Shane Nolan, who is the son of Colleen Nolan and Shane Ritchie.
It's exciting, isn't it?
That's
I'm
exciting.
only doing that so they don't forget to drop me an invite.
You an invite. Come on, your Auntie Carol needs to come.
Yes. I'll look more glamorous. Anyway, so thank you so much for today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and it's nice to meet a very intelligent yet beautiful woman that's doing so much for so many people.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
stay
so
where
much.
you are, Flower. All right then, everybody. We are now quickly going to check in with God only knows where he is this week.
Bless his cotton socks.
God only knows where he is this week, but all I can hear in the back of my head is sounds of Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Over to
Lord.
the weather.
Well, hello my lovely weather watchers and welcome to this week's weather forecast. I'm here at Dino Kingdom and there are lots of things to see and to do, as you can tell. The weather's not looking that great this week, so let's have a look at what's coming up for Manchester. Alright, Thursday is looking cloudy with the temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius. Friday is looking cloudy as well with the temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius. And as we look forward to the weekend right now, Saturday also cloudy with the temperatures of 21 degrees Celsius, and Sunday is looking cloudy with the temperatures of 22. So come and have a look at Dino Kingdom. It is travelling around, so please do check the website and have a great time. I'm going to go now before it eats me alive or doing something. That's it from me, and it's time now to hand back over to the studio for this week's episode of Your Manchester.
It's a stegosaurus.
It's
so he's
what?
a herbivore dinosaur, so he wouldn't eat Paul. He doesn't eat meat. He said he's going to be eaten by that dinosaur, but no, it's a stegosaurus, so he
I
wouldn't.
couldn't think of anything worse than being a man that doesn't eat meat. I tell you, that'd be terrible.
What's next?
What's next? Well, next we are speaking to our Hayley. How you doing, Hayley?
I'm all right.
Are you all right?
Thanks.
You're having a bit of a strange week, aren't you,
I've
Flower?
had a very strange week, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps
Bit of a
explain to
shock.
us what's going on.
Well, a friend of mine, Linda Wilson, passed away just a few days ago, and I got a text out of the blue to say that she'd gone. Linda was just amazing. I obviously represented us, and I went to the fundraiser for Moodswings because she was keep saying she is, but she was the CEO for Moodswings, which is a charity based in Manchester, and they work all across the country, but mainly Northwest and Manchester. And they're just a wonderful mental health charity. They do so many things. It's not just like what you'd normally expect. They just do loads of different things, and it was founded by obviously the love of her life, Tom McAlpine, and she was CEO, and she's just amazing.
And we've done so many interviews on the programme, but this one particularly stood out for me, and that's when I heard about the news, what I wanted to do was include it within this programme. So we're going to rerun this now for you from about 2 years ago, everybody, so some of the details are perhaps a little bit dated, but nevertheless, you'll get the gist as we re-meet Linda Wilson. Hey everybody, this is our lovely Linda. She's all the way from a charity called Moodswings. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's amazing what you do. I have to say, I've been looking into it in depth and it is amazing, but perhaps you should explain to everybody else exactly what Moodswings is.
Right, well, Moodswings was set up 20 years ago this month, actually, and we work with people with all manner of mental health problems, particularly severe and enduring mental health problems like mood disorders, hence the name Moodswings, people who are psychotic, but also people who've got depression and particularly anxiety, which is a real problem for people.
And how do you go about helping them?
We support them to get better, and that's the key. We want people to make a good recovery, and we think that anybody can recover from mental health problems if they've got the right things in place.
When you say recover, do you mean that they can get rid of their
Not
issues?
necessarily. Recovery doesn't necessarily mean cure, but managing the problems, making sure they don't stop you doing what you want to do every day. Because if you're living the life you want to live, it doesn't matter if you've still got the symptoms, as long as you're living the perfect life. No one has a perfect life, but as close as we can get.
So what would you say then to somebody that's watching this who suffers from anxiety? What would you say the first step for them would be in recovery?
Well, the first thing to do would be to see the GP if you're worried about somebody. But if you want to try and help yourself, then we say that the three most important things for anxiety are getting out and about a bit, going out of the house, getting a bit of exercise. You don't have to join a gym, just get some movement and some fresh air. Get your sleep sorted out, and we run sleep courses because that's a big part of anxiety, making sure you get the right amount of sleep.
Is that important, is
it? It really is, because that can have a knock-on effect. Anxious people don't sleep very well. If you think about it, anxiety is fear, and when you're frightened and you think that you're under threat, you don't sleep very well, do you? Wow. So if we can sort out people's sleep, we can reverse a bit of that anxiety. And also eat little and often, because that keeps our blood sugar levels up and makes sure we're not quite as susceptible to the symptoms.
Wow, there's all these things that people might not necessarily know about.
And they can help themselves by doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
Now, you're setting something up, aren't you? You're about to open something quite special, aren't you?
Well, we've got a new project coming up, which will be a community cafe and a community hub, and we started building on Monday this week, so that's quite exciting for us and a little bit scary, but we're going to open in the summer, and anybody will be welcome to that for a cup of tea and maybe some soup or a sandwich, and just meet people. And if you do need some support and someone to talk to, there'll be people there, but it will also just be a normal working cafe.
I suppose that'll work really well as a community eventually, won't it? For people that are suffering with these problems, they'll be able to come together and share, I suppose, won't they?
That's exactly the idea, yes, because we know that anxiety and depression are made much worse and are much more likely to impact on people if they're isolated and they're not part of a community. So trying to build a community in our local area, which is very urban, is really important to us.
There's so much, from what I read, that you're doing so much, you're raising so much money, you're doing this, you're doing that. What would you say is the most important thing from your charity that your charity delivers?
Well, of course we raise money in order to keep going and provide the services, but the most important thing we do is provide those services to people who need us. And we provide one-to-one support, which is all around setting goals and helping people to reach those goals. We have groups and things like singing and drama, confidence-building things.
That's amazing.
And we run courses on things like sleeping better, anxiety management, self-confidence and self-esteem, anything that helps people to get well, feel well and get a good work-life balance.
So would you say that in this day and age that a lot more people are talking these days about anxiety and depression?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we're certainly led to believe that that's the case because we've got campaigns like Time for Change and Time to Talk, and the Royal Family and some celebrities are talking about it a bit more. So I hope that has an impact and people feel more able to talk about it, yeah.
And why do you think people didn't talk about it a while back?
Well, I'm there's a lot of stigma around it, and that doesn't affect me because obviously I look at things from a different angle. I talk about mental health all the time, so it's no different for me to say I feel I'm coming down with a bit of a cold or to say actually I feel a bit anxious today. To me, I can see no difference. But other people struggle sometimes to talk to the people around them and even the people closest to them.
Because they feel embarrassed about it sometimes, don't they?
Embarrassed, or sometimes they don't want to worry the people they live with. They don't want to put an extra burden on them. But I think the more we talk about it and normalise it and realise that everybody's got mental health problems, it's just about how well we're managing it at the moment, then it isn't such a big thing.
So where do people go if they want to become part of the Moodswings community?
Well, they can phone our helpline, which is open from 10 till 4 every weekday. And that's 0161 832 3736. Or they can get in touch by email, which some people prefer because it's a bit more anonymous. And that's info@moodswings.org.uk.
It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thanks for inviting me in. It's lovely.
It's amazing. Absolutely an amazing woman, and just so passionate about what she was talking about.
Yeah, she was just outstanding. She was the kind of person who just helped everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she kept her illness quiet.
What was her illness?
She died after a very short battle with cancer. But she kept it quiet, knowing Linda, it was probably sort of, she didn't want to burden anybody, not that it would have been, but like she was always there for everybody else, and she was massive within the arts as well. She just supported so many people in our industry. She's just a wonder woman, and obviously they set up the Thumbs Up Community Cafe as well, which was due to happen ages ago, but obviously COVID, it has happened.
Yeah.
COVID obviously got in the way of it. It did open, then it's been shut for a little bit because of COVID.
Of course,
but it is there, and anyone can go in, but they also have support there as well for people who might need it. It's just a wonderful service. I mean, they do all sorts. They don't offer counselling, but they'll do it if you need it. But they do so many different workshops, so many different types of things. It's not like your standard mental health charity, if that makes sense.
That's what stood out to me, though, from what she was saying. Obviously, the notes that we did before it, she was doing so much.
She was. It's basically helping people to live their life through ups and downs.
Yes.
Whether you have a short-term mental health issue or problem or illness, or whether it's long-term, it's learning to manage that and live the best life you possibly can and be as healthy as possible.
So Moodswings is still going?
It is still going, yeah.
Which I suppose is a massive pat on the back for Linda, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That even now she's gone, she's still going to be continuing the support. Do you have the website address?
I do, yes. It is moodswings.org.uk, and there is a helpline as well for anyone who might want to speak to someone, and that's 0161 832 3736.
Read it again, Flower.
0161 832 3736.
Absolutely amazing. Now, we were going to touch on a few things for On The Box, but I think on this occasion, we'll just be thinking about Linda.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
I mean, there is still so much going on, and you'll be back in the next 2 weeks to tell us more about it, won't you?
I shall be, yeah.
We look forward to that. Hayley, as always, an absolute pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you.
Over on the other side of the studio has been listening intently. Have you been having fun today, Flower?
Oh, I've been having a great time, thank you very much.
Good.
Are you going to tell your family about it?
Oh, yes, I can't wait to tell Fargle Bargle and Bargle Bargle.
And what's your other brother called?
My brother, Schnozrag.
Okay, all right, okay. The rhyming didn't carry on there then.
I would carry on more,
Yeah, I thought so.
That's very good, that. Have you had a favourite part of the programme today?
Oh, I loved all of it. It's a bit, that man with the metal in his face, he was quite good.
Did he have metal in his face?
Yeah, he had metal in his lips. I think.
Do you not fancy a piercing?
No, not for me, not for me.
You can have a piercing in your toe.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Why's that?
It interferes with the rubbish.
With the rubbish? Where have you been living, Flower?
In the garbage patch.
Have you?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I love it, I do. Oh, and I have a bath once a year.
A bath once a year?
Oh, yes, you know. And I have a little song about it.
Go on then, sing it for us, Flower.
Bath bomb, you're my bath bomb, so you can fizz and fuzz me when I need to get that sheen.
Sorry, you can what and what me?
What? Fizz and fuzz.
Thank you for the clarification.
Right.
Bath bomb, you're my bath bomb, so go on, turn the tap right on.
I really thought it said fist and... Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
ooh.
I did, but he didn't.
That was lovely.
That
lovely.
was beautiful singing. Julie Andrews will be shaking in her little court shoes right now, won't she? absolutely fantastic. We have got another amazing show for you next week.
Next week.
From Britain's Got Talent.
Who?
Kevin Cruz. My sailor will be on the show, everybody, and we've got a load of other fantastic guests as well. Up until then, don't forget you can listen to all this again on the podcast. You can fully enjoy every single moment of it on the podcast. I'll watch it back on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. I'm glad I said Twitter.
Yes, Twitter.
You can watch it wherever you want because it's always here for you. So thank you very much to Carol. Thank you very much to our gorgeous guest, to our Hayley, to the dustbin man.
Argle Fargle.
Yeah, right. Argle Bargle.
Argle Bargle. Thank you.
Brother.
Absolute pleasure. Goodness knows who we've got guesting next week. But
It's all go.
It's non-stop.
It's non-stop.
Where's it non-stop? Only on Your Manchester.